Howdy heretics, and I have breaking news because God's one true religion, Watchtower, lost in the Supreme Court of Sweden, and this time it's about real estate. It's about this beautiful building here, thanks to Google Maps. And then we have this beautiful building that's a hotel. And this is, I think, the biggest district convention hall that Jehovah Witnesses ever owned. And they owned it in the little country of Sweden. So this is really big and really beautiful, and if we go to jw.org, like we all do every day, we can read in the 1995 yearbook, it says Strängnäs has been renovated to become an assembly hall that seats 10,000 in the main hall. A 156 room hotel, only a short distance from the hall, were also purchased by the brothers, and this provides housing, especially for older ones during convention time. So go back to Google Maps, this is the hall and this is the hotel. And you know, Watchtower always say that they don't solicit for donations. Well, sometimes they do, to be honest. They do ask for money. Like when we came to this hotel here, they actually asked us to donate money so they could buy the hall, unless I'm really wrong. I remember they asked for money for a lot of this stuff. And then people were working there for free. I was a part of that. I'm a construction worker to renovate it. And people were working for free in the actual hotel. My own brother is a chef and he used to work there every weekend. And also in the hall here, the sheet metal work, you see this long here, I put on that when I was 16 years old. Oh, we had a lot of fun. And I was also baptized in this hall when I was 16 years old. So anyway. So I'm pretty sure they were making a profit on this hotel because when you get real estate for free, people working there for free to renovate it, a lot of donated material. I know farmers were donating food for the hotel, and then the staff working in the hotel work for free because the elderly witnesses, they would have like a convention and assemblies basically every weekend, more or less every weekend. And my brother were working as a chef, but the people visiting the hotel would actually pay a normal hotel price. I'm not an expert on hotels, but we would talk about it and everyone would agree that this is basically a hotel price, a contribution. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure they were making a lot of cash on this hotel. But the problem was that when you have a convention hall of this size, as soon as you own something that's big, you need a cash flow, because as soon as you buy paint, you need a gazillion of paint. Everything is expensive. And they used to tell us that this is so expensive, you have to save everything. And they say, only to turn on the light in the main hall cost 6,000 Swedish kronor. That's about $600 US. It's that expensive just to turn on the light. And I remember I mentioned it to one of the electricians. The brothers work, not working there, but he came for a convention. And he said, well, I can do the numbers. And he started with a calculator doing all the numbers. And he came to 1,000 kronor, like $100 every time you turn on the light. And this was awkward because you can't say that Watchtower is wrong. And when you're a Jehovah Witness, you expect them to be imperfect, but you never expect them to be lying. So we looked at each other and the electrician said, well, probably I did something wrong. He double checked it, but you know, the cognitive dissonance. Yeah, you can't say that Watchtower is lying. But anyway, $100 just to turn on the light, it's still a lot of money. So Watchtower was struggling with this piece of real estate. And the previous owner was also struggling with this piece of real estate. That's why we got to bought it cheap. I can show you here from the history. It was built in 1984 by worldly people, and it was back at the time the biggest arena, one of the biggest arena in Sweden, but they built it in a village quite far from Stockholm, an hour from Stockholm. So that's kind of a big mistake. So they were having different fairs and footballs and music like this, and they would be dancing. Look at all the worldly people dancing, probably thinking unpure thoughts. But it was difficult to create a revenue, you know, a cash flow to keep this big building. So in 1993 they had to sell it to the Jehovah Witnesses. Look, now it's a convention hall, and we would turn it into a mega church. So we could be 10,000 here. And it's really lovely. It used to be football now, and we have a mountain there. We have the expensive light in the roof and that platform. I've been on that platform more than once. And this is the camping ground where I used to flirt with the sisters when I was 16. And now it's a nice place. And then in 2007, Jehovah Witnesses sold it to a for-profit company that rented out, like now it's music again, and they would have dog shows. But in their business plan, they were planning to leash this to the Jehovah Witnesses because it's important for them to create a cash flow. So eventually, now if you go there now, it's closed. There's no electricity, no water on. So I feel sorry for the new owners. But why did Watchtower, now come to the funny part, why did Watchtower lose in the Supreme Court? Well, when Watchtower tried to ditch this piece of real estate, because just like everyone else, they couldn't turn a profit. In order to get someone to buy it, they had to write a deal that we sell you this, but we will rent it from you. So they willingly signed a piece of paper that we will rent this facility. We're obligated to rent this facility. How long? Well, they stated until the municipality changed the zoning. That's a rookie mistake. They could have said top 3 years or top 5 years, but they said until the municipality changed the zoning. Well, the municipality never changed the zoning. So Watchtower just said that we don't feel that we have to honor our commitment anymore. This obviously went to court, and according to this article here, Watchtower lost in the Supreme Court. So they have to pay about 10 million Swedish kronor or something like that. But it's kind of a sad story that Watchtower did not honor their commitment. Because they made a deal and instead they took it to court. And you know what they tried to argue in the Supreme Court? Take a guess. What did Watchtower argue, among other things, in the Supreme Court of Sweden? That this was a violation of their human rights. Yeah. Obviously, Watchtower claimed that they are persecuted. So when they sold this real estate, and they willingly, they're grown-ups, signed a paper that they would continue renting this until there was a new zoning of the area. And then when this took longer time than the Watchtower thought, they just violated their agreement and said, well, we no longer feel that we have to honor our agreement. And the people who bought it, that was planning to rent to Watchtower until there be a new zoning, actually lost a lot of money. So now this place is just closed down. So that makes me a little bit ashamed of being a Jehovah Witness. So this is the twist. Before we had the big convention hall, we had a small assembly hall, and this is it. It's now a mosque. And now comes the twist. Because I remember when this place was sold for, I think it was 25 million. It was just minutes before the Swedish real estate market crashed. And I remember they had an announcement in this hall when I was there. And they said that we made a deal with this businessman that he would buy this for 2.5 million Swedish kronor, if memory serves me right. And we shook hands on it, but we did not take it in writing. And then the market crashed. And we thought, well, this is it, because him, a worldly businessman, will not honor his word unless we have it in writing. So they went back to him like 1 year later, and according to the announcement in the convention hall by Watchtower, and I think it was fair of Watchtower to give him credit for being honest, they said that they went to this businessman, and the businessman told them to sit down and say, you know, the market has crashed. I offered you, I think it was $25 million, 25 million Swedish kronor. and now the market crash, it's not worth a fraction of what I offered. But a man is a man, and the word is my bond. So he bought it. He, the worldly guy, paid Watchtower what he offered before the market crashed, even if it wasn't in writing, while God's one true religion had put this in writing, that they would, we can take a little walk here, I can just show you, because this is where I'm from. Watchtower had this in writing, that they would rent this area. I just want to show you, it's such a beautiful place. Sweden is very beautiful. This is, I'm from a place not far from this. So Watchtower had it in writing that they would rent this facility until there was a new zoning planning, and they claimed that this was a violation of their human rights. So Jehovah Witnesses always say that we're persecuted, and a slave is not bigger than its master, and if they were persecuting Jesus, they would also persecute us. And they told that he was eating with prostitutes, and yeah, okay, let's say that's true. They say that Jesus ate with prostitutes, not former prostitutes, with prostitutes. Well, have ever Jehovah Witnesses got criticism for that? No, they get criticism for disfellowshipping someone for having sex once, while Jesus were eating with practicing prostitutes. Doesn't really the same. Have you ever seen Jesus being criticized for shady real estate deals where he violates contract? No. And Watchtowers say that this is a violation of their human rights, that they were asked to honor a real estate deal. Think about that. Jesus was literally, if you assume he's a real person, he was literally tortured and killed on false accusations. That's what I call a human rights violation. That a multi-billion-dollar industry with a lot of lawyers sign a leash, and that the Swedish court tell them to honor that agreement. That is not a human right violation. Thank you very much. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you are among my 144,000 subscribers. So the tower will fall when the ingathering of the 144,000 subscribers is complete. So like and subscribe, and see you in paradise.